This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Matt.
And happy National Cheeseburger Day.
We really should have done a cheeseburger restaurant today.
There's a lot of deals out there today. You got your McDonald's, you got 50-cent cheeseburgers. You got your Wendy's is doing a deal on cheeseburgers. Jack in the Box is doing a deal on cheeseburger. Buffalo Wild Wings is doing a deal. Basically, any place that has a cheeseburger is doing a deal today. But you need to go today, assuming that this episode releases today.
That you may be listening to this, and it was yesterday. Sorry.
Well, if we want to edit it out, it's also Locate an Old Friend Day, which is part of my resolution, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Because on September 8th was 988 Day, which is the suicide helpline
Okay.
hotline. So still working on that theory that if we just reach out to people, say hi, it's a better
It'll
world.
make a difference.
Right? Because how
It'll
many
make
people
the
are in
world
trouble?
better.
How many people are in trouble reach out to you and say, you posted on Facebook a long time ago that your door is always open and you'll give me a beer, so I'm here. Just thought.
It's fair. Have you reached out to many people this year?
I've done quite a few. Like I'm probably every other week I've been doing it, but I got to get better. And now people are actually starting to reach out to me to hit me back to say, hey, it's been weird. So I don't know how to react. And I don't know what to do with my hands when they do that. Go enjoy a cheeseburger today.
With a lost friend. Not a lost friend.
Old friend.
With an old friend.
What does it say? What was it? I already forgot. I said it 2 minutes. Locate an old friend day.
Locate
Which
an
is
old
really easy to
friend
do.
and give them a cheeseburger.
Let's reach out to them. Let them know that they can get a 50-cent cheeseburger if they have the McDonald's app.
If I'm your friend, you want to give me a cheeseburger, I would happily pay you Tuesday.
What is that saying again?
I would happily pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today.
There you go. You can just Venmo me.
All right, fine. Well, thanks for sharing that, Nate.
Yeah. And I say these things.
All right, gotta break it somehow. You made it all serious. We have a very important topic today. Every topic we have is important. Let's be real. Every topic merits an episode. That's why we do it. Because we don't do any filler on this podcast.
Heavens no.
All killer, no filler. But today is a follow-up to a part one from...
It's been on the calendar. Let's say that.
This has been on the calendar.
This isn't crap, what should we do? That's why Matt's here.
That's why Matt is
wouldn't
here.
come. Matt wouldn't come on without being invited. Or would
No,
he?
I sure wouldn't.
He has the link. I've sent it to him 100 times.
I do have the link.
What's the link?
The Zoom link.
The Zoom link.
Brandon
Oh.
texts it to me, but I need it on my computer.
It'd be hilarious if Matt's just on all day long waiting for us to get on.
He's just sitting around waiting. I wonder if they're going to do their podcast episode right now.
I feel like it'd be happening any minute now.
In all seriousness, today is very important because it's a follow-up to our Primordial episode. We gave you guys a year to ride Primordial, to make it to the lagoon, ride the ride, and know that this episode will be spoiler filled. We're going to give you all the details of the ride. So if you haven't, you probably need to wait, but you shouldn't because you had a whole year to try it. Because the ride opened September 15th, 2023. And today is September 18th, 2024. So you even had an extra couple days to do it. So
Wait, Brandon,
what?
do you hear that?
Yes, I heard that.
Fade that out. I just thought I'd play that for no particular reason.
There has to be there's a reason you played that.
Nope. No reason at all. Just you, me, Nate talking about amusement park rides.
Ah, I see what you did there. Are you announcing something?
Yeah. So coming back in September. Oh, it is September. Coming back in October. Me and my friend Paul will be doing a new
You son of a
podcast.
bitch.
We're calling it amusement park. Uh,
Cross country trip.
cross country trip. Yep.
Okay. Anybody doesn't know, that was the theme music for the podcast that Matt killed. And so
Man, that podcast had some great music.
it did.
Yeah. Good days.
Nate, why don't you get us started off? I know you're most excited to talk about this.
What do we talk about? Let's talk about this. Let's go back to what we've already talked about. You said you're giving people a whole year to ride the ride.
Whole
I
year in
went to
3 days.
Lagoon. I went to Lagoon Labor Day. As soon as I walked in the park, I ran into my nephew. I think Carter's been on the episode before.
Oh, he's
Caleb and
back.
Carter, way back when.
He's back from his mission.
So Caleb is back
Oh,
from his
Caleb,
mission.
sorry.
And I'm pretty sure Caleb was there. So I ran into Carter. Carter's leaving on his mission in a few weeks.
All right.
Anyway, so but Caleb's back, so we might get another couple downloads if he starts listening again. So that'd be nice. But Carter, maybe it was Caleb. Can't remember who.
But how old were they when you ran into them?
Well, Carter was 18. Caleb was 21, 20. I don't know. They go earlier now in their mission, so it screws everything up knowing how old they are when they go. But my point is, one of them came up to me, I can't remember which one, and said, "Have you been on Primordial? Primordial. How do you say it?
Primordial.
Primordial. And I said,
Primordial.
of course, been on it twice. I'm like very versed in the ride. And then he said, well, how long of a wait is it worth waiting for? And I said 45 minutes. I think that's the max. But when I asked them where was the line, I'm like, yeah, you're way past 45 minutes. Like it's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours at that point. Probably not worth it. Unless if you have like a season pass and you can come back and ride it another day. But I don't know. Would you guys, if you spent the $100 for a pass for a day, would you wait in line if you never ridden on? Not worth it, right?
So
I did.
First time, maybe, like, yeah. If you want to go on it, experience it first time for sure. But a second ride, I don't know.
Like
45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, but like if you haven't been to Lagoon for a long time. I don't know. Do you waste 2 hours of your day, depending on the temperature of the day too, right?
Yeah.
2 hours of standing in the hot sun waiting for it. I don't know if it's worth it. But
I waited for an hour and 45 minutes in the hot sun to ride it.
Did you feel like it was worth it?
Yeah, I did. It actually went really fast.
All right.
First ride. Any wait? Would we say any wait for a first ride?
I guess I'd say any wait because I can't imagine it being much longer than 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
if it's longer than 2 hours, then I would say no.
I don't know if I could do it, but maybe if you just came home from Disneyland, it might feel like nothing, right? Because that's just what you wait at Disneyland. Brandon should know. You just got back.
So I went to Disneyland and I waited probably the most for a ride was 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do the
time to go.
whatever? What were they
I
call
did,
it?
but I didn't even need it. Picked
Really?
the right time to go.
Fair enough.
But even then, yeah. So, I mean, I had kids with me, so it's not like I was going to wait 2 hours for anything.
That's true.
So, be hard to wait in this line. This line, there's some trees, there's some inside parts once you get closer. But if you're waiting 2 hours, you're not going to have any shade if it's a hot day, as I'm sure Matt experienced on his 2 hour 45-minute wait.
Yeah.
No.
No shade.
Yeah.
We're not throwing shade. There's just no shade.
There was no shade. And you were throwing shade.
Just a little bit.
And it is kind of deceiving that when you feel like you're finally entering the building at the very beginning,
Like that's
it's
it.
really just the beginning of the end, right? It's beginning of waiting in line.
Yeah.
The hidden queue. You know who invented that?
Who?
Wallace and Gromit.
Walsbergs.
Walter Knotts.
Oh.
Walter Knotts invented the hidden queue, and Walt Disney went to Knott's Berry Farm and was like, look at that. That
Should have
is
a
amazing.
podcast about this stuff.
And so he started hiding his lines. Because you see a line, you're like, that's not long. And then you get in there and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't think that because you're just already immersed in it.
You've already waited. It's already sunk cost.
Yeah. Imagine writing Indiana Jones and the whole line is outside. And then you just walk right up to the car, just barely entering into the building. Nobody'd want to wait in that line. But because that whole thing is hidden and you go underground and under the
Mhm.
railroad and all of that, that's a long line. And
Good
it's
point.
all inside.
So Lagoon knew what they were doing.
But the problem with the hidden lines, even though we're getting off topic, which is weird for this podcast, but if you go to a day to a park where it's not crowded, like we've been to Universal Studios when it wasn't really crowded. I've been to SeaWorld in San Diego where it wasn't crowded. You have to walk a long ways to get back onto the ride or even get on the ride. I just feel like you're walking forever when it's not crowded, which is fine, but it just seems like they could have like
Some shortcuts.
a shortcut or something.
Yeah, I experienced that my first time riding Smuggler's Run to Disneyland. It was literally no wait. And that's a pretty long line. That's a pretty long queue they have. And it's all hidden inside. And I just walked, and walked. So I finally got there.
You want to know a fun
got on
fact
the
about
ride.
that queue, Brandon?
Yes.
Good, because I'm going to tell you. In that queue, it smells, they're pumping out scents, and they pump out the scent of grease in that line because you're like in a shop where they are fixing stuff. And
I didn't get to experience that because I was just
so now
going
if
through
you
the
know,
line.
when you walk in, take a big old whiff, it's going to smell like grease.
Nice.
You can put that fun fact in your back pocket and share that later.
If Primordial, see what I did there? If Primordial were to pump out a smell, what smell would it be?
Fantasy.
Would it be smell of kitty litter?
Yeah. That's a lynx? Is that what it's called?
Is that what it is?
Let's get past the line into the building. There is a creature, a talking. That's a lynx, isn't it?
I know what it is. It's a kitty cat.
I swear that's a lynx.
It totally reminds me of like some 80s type
Like
fantasy
Dark Crystal.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I mean, if we want to get technical, it's talking. So whatever kind of animal, cat-like
you're right.
animal that
It's a
can talk,
lynx. You're right. It's
that's
a
what it
lynx.
is.
Wikipedia
Yeah.
confirmed.
What is the lynx's name?
Queen Azdra.
Very nice.
Yes. So she has tasked us with saving the world, saving their kingdom.
Unfortunately, you probably will not hear that as she's talking. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but
Turn
I
up the
could not
volume
hear
on
a
that
single
thing.
word. Either volume or put in subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
both.
you kids nowadays can't hear a movie without subtitles.
That's right.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
You're right. I just want to know what you mean.
It means you can't hear a movie without reading it.
They need
That-
subtitles because they have like a screen that's playing in the background that's showing the story, kind of shows some
Yeah.
words and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay. Tangent time.
Oh boy, here we go.
Frightmares. Frightmares used to have over by the bat ride. What is it called?
Yeah, the bat.
The bat. They used to have like this little zombie looking character that was like a puppeteer type thing. And so a kid would be behind there talking to you, conversing with you, and making fun of you and all that stuff, right? And that zombie hasn't been there for years, but my kids used to love it. Going and getting roasted by this zombie looking thing. So I kind of wish with this cat that they had the same experience. Like you were in line because you're bored in line, and by the time you get through that portion of the line, you've heard the thing if you can hear it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So how cool it would be if they had like somebody that could interact with the people there to kind of make the line move along faster or be more entertained.
This is a heavy Disney episode because I just was there, but like Turtle Time with Crush.
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
When
How
he's
cool
like,
would that have been?
look who we got here, Mr. Balloon Hands.
The
Mr. Balloon,
tree
Mr. Walkway. Imagine getting roasted. She's like, look at this dingbat walking by. Doesn't even have a chair, but not my chair, not my problem. That's what I always say.
But it was a kid who was doing that puppet thing, right? But they did a pretty good
Oh
job.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he
Had some good comedic timing.
yeah, he's pretty decent. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
pretty good
dorky,
face.
so I mean more towards the kid and teenager crowd liked it, but I just found it interesting they don't do it anymore. But like I said, my kids, like every time we were there, they would want to go back and visit the zombie. Let's go say hi to the zombie one more time.
So what we need, what our suggestion is at the very least turn up the volume on that thing, because you're not going to get people to stop talking, and it
Or
echoes.
how cool would it be if they put in the old Chuck E. Cheese track?
Ooh.
And then things start singing to the Chuck E. Cheese soundtrack.
And the guy that made Chuck E. Cheese is he from here, or was he just a Mormon?
I'm pretty sure he was from here, like it was an Ogden area, and then he helped with the Atari.
There you go. There's
So
tie-in. Yeah, I think it's cool. Like you said, the first time you walk in, you see it talking, you see the thing, it's like, oh, this is cool. And then after you've been in the line for a while and you've seen it a couple times, it's like, I can be done with this.
true.
It loses its appeal. It's just probably why you have people coming in that want to see it, but everybody who's further in line has already seen it 5 times, so they're like, so they're going to be talking because they've already heard it before.
Well, basically, the cat says it needs your help.
It needs our help
So
to rescue the kingdom and rescue the mythical creature that has been kidnapped.
The cat says, I have fallen and I can't get up.
did I do that?
Turn up the volume or take Nate's suggestion and have a teen
Interact with you.
roast the audience. That would be such a great line. Such a great line experience.
If it goes through its spill and then it's like, did you get that guy in the black hat with the black shirt on?
That's me.
And you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me.
Yeah.
Just get very personal. Your wife's disappointed in you.
Then I'd go home afterwards. My wife wouldn't talk to me. She'd be like, how could you let him sit there and roast you like that?
when our kids turn 18, I'm gonna divorce you.
We're gonna stay together. When our
But
kids,
the kids will not respect
they
you.
will not respect you.
What?
And then you'll go back and you'll be like, come on, roast me. Come on.
What is this on?
I think you should leave, Nate. You need to watch the show.
Oh, it's one of my it's one
Is
of my
that
favorites.
is that the skit show thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets roasted by a magician,
A
and his
magician.
wife is just like disgusted. She's like, he embarrassed you in front of everybody.
I think I've seen that one.
So you get past the cat, and then you stand
In more line.
next to a fence and watch people go up, and they don't know what to do with
And-
their glasses.
Yes, you can put your stuff in those lockers.
Oh yeah, where you choose
Yeah.
a color and an animal and a number.
Does
Really?
it cost money to use those lockers or are those free?
Those are free.
Because is it Universal Studios that does that? They have
Lagoon does it.
lockers.
Yeah,
Don't they do it
Universal
for
Studio.
They have
Wicked and
lockers
Cannibal?
that you pay for though at Lagoon. But
At the
not
opening of the park, right?
well, they have some over at Cannibal, right?
You have to pay
Cannibal's
for
free.
Cannibal.
It's free?
Yeah, Cannibal
Yeah.
is free.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a time limit of 50 minutes, but by the time you get to that portion in the ride and put them in there, there's no way it's going to take you 50 minutes.
Gotcha.
So
What happens
Cannibal's
if it
free.
passes the 50 minutes.
The box, inside the box, flames just shoot out, burn everything up, and then they just...
Can I tell a story about the line there? So I think right after you get to the lockers, we've been waiting in line for how long at that point? Like maybe
You're
20,
pretty close to
25
being
minutes.
done with the line.
We were in line last time we did. So this is our second ride, our second time.
Did you
This
say you
lady
went
comes-
for Labor Day?
We didn't go on the ride. We went to Laguna Beach on Labor Day and then went over and did Rattlesnake Rapids before we left. So it was a good time to go on. It was a good time to go on Rattlesnake Rapids. But the time we went before, which was probably 2 or 3 months ago, we went on Primordial. And we're once we got to the lockers, it's probably been 25, 30 minutes. This lady comes pushing through with her boy saying, my boy is on the autism spectrum or something like that. So we need to come through. And I thought my wife was going to get in a fight with this lady because she's like, yeah, I got 2 boys too with autism. What makes you think you're more special than us that you get to go ahead of us? It was pretty lame that the lady was obviously using it as an excuse to push her way to the front of the line. And people were just letting her. So what do you do? But
So
my
this
wife
is
did
very
try to-
different than the other time you were in line and your boys were like, oh, he's got
Yeah.
autism. Well, he's got autism too. And then he became friends.
Well, yeah, they were friends, but we were doing the right thing and we were waiting in line. You know what I mean? But this lady was just like pushing through as if, and you can't judge somebody without actually knowing. But my guess was he was pretty dang high functioning. But she was just using it as an excuse to push forward and not have to wait in line. Like, anyways, just frustrating that people do stuff like that. But that's a whole other topic. But I just thought, oh crap, my wife's gonna get into a fist fight in line. But it would have been more entertaining than waiting in line though. So I was gonna let it happen, but it didn't happen. And then when we finally got to the front, getting the glasses, my daughter like passed out.
What?
Yeah, because of standing in the heat and stuff for too long, and she was dehydrated. So I'm like, "Are you?" Anyways, so she
Next
went and sent.
time, you should push through the line and say, my daughter will
Well, I
pass
know,
out
right?
if she has
my
to wait in
my
this
boy,
line.
let's just use some excuse. So my wife and my daughter went and sat in like the baby waiting area, they call it.
Mm.
And then me and the boys went on, and then we got off. We convinced them to, because she was feeling a little bit better then, to let my wife and daughter go on the ride. It was a wild experience, from almost a fight to daughter passing out and then riding the ride. Good times. But did you guys know how many endings the ride has?
2?
8.
8?
There's 8?
There's 8 endings.
How do you know this and I don't?
I googled that.
Where did you find this?
Is there 8 endings but 2 storylines? Like you're either gonna see the goblins or you're gonna see the.
It broke the world record for the tallest vertical drop track with 8 different endings. This is according to KUTV.com.
Wow, look at you with your research.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember which endings. If I went again, I don't know if I would remember what the endings were because I don't think they're that.
How different they are.
Well, they're not that. What's the word I'm looking for? Memorable? They're forgettable. That's the way to describe it.
I hear this about endings all the time. Nate got it.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't.
All right. So we're on the ride. I'm going to give you a play-by-play. Okay. You get on the ride, you got a gun, right? Go up the hill with your gun. You do a little ride portion, little roller coaster portion of the ride, and then you're in, I guess you could call it the show building. And there's green lights everywhere. There's ships on the side of the walls. There's tree-looking things. And you quickly realize this is a screen ride, and I'm going to shoot stuff. And you start shooting spiders. And you might be scared of spiders, and you're freaking out, so you're just trying to shoot them and get them away from you. Then you see the little helper guys, the little lizard, and what's that other thing? What kind of animal is it, Matt?
I have no idea.
There's a lizard, and it looks like a fox or a wolf.
Oh yeah, Star Fox.
Star Fox, and Slippy.
Yep.
Okay, you see Star Fox and Slippy, and then there's like a wizard-looking thing you fight, and they're throwing these things at you, and then you keep moving, and then you do kind of a little more roller coaster thing. You're like, whoa, we're going backwards. What's happening? And you're seeing like lights and stuff. Pretty cool. And then there's more screens.
And you're going backwards, and that's unnerving.
And it's dark. And now you're shooting butterflies. What are those things? Those are some weird looking things.
Are you watching a video of it?
Yep. Oh, and there's a troll. A troll of some sort. And this is the part we said it might turn and it flips to something different at that part.
Oh yeah.
Well,
There's like an ogre thing or a troll.
Isn't there like 2 tracks going? So you could go on one track and you can go up. And
There's 2 tracks. Oh,
I thought it felt like there is. So I feel like at the end you see another like cart coming from another area.
Oh.
Did you not notice that?
I'm not all the way through the video yet, but maybe. So this one I'm watching, as you're going back to like the last section, it's like all red, like it's fire, right? So that means you're gonna see the dragon, right?
A dragon.
Dragnar.
I saw a dragon.
What's his name?
Pete.
No, he has a name.
Thanks, Matt.
I guess his name's not Pete because it's Pete's dragon. What is the dragon's name?
Dragnor. What kind of a name is that? Dragnor the dragon. All right. So this one I'm shooting Dragnor. You're shooting stuff. You see the dragon. You're trying to unleash him from his shackles. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, there's just a screen in front of me. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're spinning around. You're rescuing him. But this room has no windows and no doors. And then you drop. You fall back. It's the big surprise of the ride. And then once again, we see Slippy and...
Do you know how
Star
far
Fox.
this drop is?
No, how far is it?
25 feet.
31,
Oh.
according to KSL.
You know what's crazy about that? That's how old I was when I wrote it last. But now I'm 32.
I think you're right. I think there is another track.
I feel like at the very end you see, and it almost looked like to me that the video they were watching or the screen was different than the different
Probably.
adventure.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if there's 2 tracks.
I'm gonna
I
have to
can't
go
tell if
back
that's
and
another
watch
track
this.
or if that's just like a spot where you put like a broken car. Like you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to go back and look. The thing that caught me off
Because look,
guard
can
with
you
the
see?
track.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
That's the track, and there's like these. It shows your scores, so maybe it is. Maybe they just go a different way.
I'm gonna look it up.
Hmm.
But anyway, it was spoiled to Brandon and I probably a year before the ride was open that there was a drop because this ride is very similar to one in Canada. And so I knew there was a drop, but I was expecting, if you've ridden Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland or Disney World, it's an actual drop where you're on hydraulics and you drop straight down. This one's like a steep rollback. So it confused me. That was not what I was expecting.
It was ruined for me going up to the ride by my wife because her coworker told her. So she had to tell me. So I knew it was coming. So it was fun to look over at my daughter, and it freaked her out. She even for like the next like hour or 2 hours, like in a good way, was laughing, going, "Oh my gosh, that got me so good." But I'll tell you what, when we went to Universal Studios and we rode the Star Wars ride there,
Wait,
Hold on, Nate. There's no Star Wars ride at Universal
Yeah.
Studios.
yes, there is.
there's no Star Wars ride.
You talking about Disneyland?
No, I'm talking about Universal.
What Star Wars ride at Universal?
It's the one where the kid.
Oh, okay,
Harry.
I know what you're doing
Come
here.
on, I'm making
I
a
know what you're
joke.
doing here.
This is a joke.
The
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
Potter
Because Harry
one.
Potter is just a knockoff of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, blah blah
Well,
blah.
Star Wars just a
Anyways,
knockoff of the Bible.
yeah,
you wanna go
but
that far.
I did really enjoy Harry Potter Land, and next time I go, maybe it'll make a little more sense because I'm almost done watching the movies. I've got 2 more to go, one at home and then one at theater, hopefully next week. Well, that's the thing too. People need to know that I think this Friday starts the Harry Potter finale at the Megaplex. And I think Cinemark's doing it too. Anyways, but the ride where you're on the motorcycle and the handcart,
The Millennium
at
Falcon one.
the Millennium Falcon one at Universal,
Oh yeah. Yep.
when the track drops, I seriously thought I was dead. I'm like, I had
The
no
ride
idea it was
broke.
gonna happen. I'm just like, that was the best like feeling ever because it's like hard for me to get like that adrenaline rush now on rides, and that gave it to me just because of the scare factor. I loved it so much. Like I wish I could ride that one over for the first time again, but
That's
it's
that's what I
awesome.
got on Rise of the
It's scared because
Resistance.
it like stops, right? Doesn't the ride like stop? And then have you guys ridden it before?
I've seen it. I've never ridden it.
Oh, okay. It got me so good. But
We all
This-
remember our first time.
mhm.
Colton did not like it. He was not a fan.
Not a fan.
But Macy and Spencer loved the drop. And Colton, I don't remember how my kids reacted at Lagoon when we dropped on this one.
My daughter hated everything about it. So much so that she didn't even want to go on the Spider-Man ride at Disney at California Adventure because it was similar to the screen portion of Primordial.
Yeah.
I'm like, Spider-Man is not scary at all. It's just a bunch of spiders. It is a little loud.
It's
You're
pretty
just-
loud.
You're just fighting some spiders. Some
That
fake
whole
spiders.
area is loud. Super loud. Do 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 do. Don't play that. 'cause that-
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. Copyright. But yeah, my kids really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't remember who got the high score in our carts. I would assume me. Not because I think I'm great, but because I was up against 2 little kids. So
I feel
I almost
like
said that. I almost said their ages, but I stopped myself.
I feel like whoever is in the front cart in the front seat has the biggest advantage, right?
Yeah,
They got to
fair.
figure out a way to even the score. But
Tell us about that, Brandon.
I won because I was the only person in the whole ride because of my rider swap thing they did. they got all confused, and I ended up alone on my ride. So I got the high score of Lagoon that day because I was the only one shooting, and so I got all the points.
I
Not
think
that day, that morning.
Probably the day.
pretty much
No,
probably
If
still
you
Richter.
go back to Lagoon right now, you'll probably still see my face
I'm pretty sure.
as the
Probably.
high scorer.
I've heard people talk about it.
Is that Brandon? Wow.
I know that
He's
guy.
he's from the This Is a Place podcast.
That's
He
the
got the
guy.
high score.
That's the guy.
Are you wearing a hat on the ride?
I don't think so.
Then they wouldn't recognize you. You always got a hat on.
I do. But you can't wear a hat on a roller coaster because it'll fly off. So
Oh, I've seen a lot of hats on Cannibal at the bottom. Because
that
people wear
one,
hats.
eat your hats. Eat your hats for sure.
But I think Brandon brings up a point, something that he could also fix, and maybe they'll never will, is I feel like when you're standing in line for 2 hours and then you see a cart go with one or two people, it's just like, what the Hannah Montana? Like, you have all the time in the world because they have like,
There's
do they
time.
have like two wait lines type thing? Like, they can get it figured out. Where I
Yeah.
feel they can do a lot better at pushing people through.
But it's
I
also
get it with
teams.
three. If you have three and you have one person missing, I get that because there's not a lot of single riders. But when I'm watching the carts go and there's like one person like Brandon or two people in the cart, I'm like, come on, there's got to be more people who could have got on that ride.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. So
Agreed. I'd be curious to hear everyone's thoughts on the ride. Hopefully, we didn't spoil it for you. If we did, your fault. Sorry. But let us know if you've seen different versions of the ride. The two that I'm aware of, Nate says there's 8, but the two that I've seen is the owl. So you get kind of the blue owl cold section or the red. I don't think it actually is cold or hot depending on which one you get. It just changes the colors and the smoke looks different. But you got the owl or the dragon and maybe some other endings, as Nate has mentioned. So let us know what you've seen. What are your thoughts on this ride? And how long would you wait for it if it is your second time?
well, I want to know, what advice would you give for somebody for their first time? Do you wait?
Don't listen to this podcast. Don't spoil it.
Well, saying if you've been on it before, the advice you'd give somebody who has not been on it.
Advice?
Would you say go ahead and wait whatever it takes, or there's a limit?
I mean, for someone like me, I would wait long because it's the first experience. I want to try it.
Right.
But I don't want to say wait 2 hours if you're not like in love with that type of experience and trying a new ride.
Yeah. There would be a lot of follow-up questions to figure out what.
What kind of rider are you?
Yeah. Do you get aroused seeing a talking cat? Sorry, wrong word. Do you get
No,
excited?
perfect.
Not that
You get
type of
Does
cat.
a lynx excite you?
Yeah.
Does it awaken your inner lynx to see a talking lynx?
Do you want to get
And if it puts
roasted
you
by a
down, does that
cat?
make you even more excited?
There's a guy in there that's like, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Lets people pass by.
I'm just here for the lynx.
My other question
So.
is this ride going to always have a huge, long line, or will it die off in a year or two? And
I
No.
think
I feel
it'll
like
always
every
have
time
a
they
long
make a
ride.
new ride, like
Yeah.
the lines don't necessarily get any shorter, which is like, are that many more people coming to Lagoon?
Yes.
What's going on?
It's the only park we have. We have no options. Our
Yes.
population keeps growing, so they just need to keep making more rides to eat up capacity. I think this ride will always be long. I don't think it merits always being a long line. Cannibal, all day. I still love Cannibal so much.
Yep.
That
I
line
love
should always
Cannibal.
be long.
I still like Wicked. That's still my
I like
Wicked
Wicked
still.
too.
It always has a long line still.
I
So
love all.
that's-
Yeah, those two
The
rides
last
are my
time-
top two.
Well, the time we went, not Labor Day, the day before, or the time before, the Wicked line was pretty short, and Cannibal was short too. But yet it was still 45 minutes for Primordial.
How long until Lagoon sees what Disney's doing and introduces some kind of fast pass for an extra price?
Well, they'd have to put out an app first.
We are far far from that becoming a reality.
We are years from that, so. Because, in 2024, amusement park apps are hard to do. You can't just look at other companies and see what they're doing. There's just no way to know how other people do this, so.
Yeah, look at another company's UI.
Urinary infection?
Yeah.
Hilarious, Brandon.
Just make an app, okay? Just make an app. So we can track wait times, mobile order, and a virtual queue for that ride wouldn't be bad. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because everybody could want to ride it at least once during the day and just give everybody one chance to ride it. Not a bad idea. And it's money left on the
back
table.
the samurai.
Yeah, what's up with the samurai? Why is that?
I think it's gone.
It's gone?
I don't know. I think it was gone when I was there. The ride wasn't even there.
Really? Well,
So,
I noticed that when I was in
I don't know.
line
It always seemed to be under construction or waiting on a part. So I wonder if they're just done trying to fix it.
Are they bringing back the magic carpets?
Well, you know how
Oh
cool
my
that would
gosh.
be?
Everybody
That
has
was
been clamoring, asking
That
for
was
that.
my favorite ride. I love it so much.
I know. Wouldn't it be cool to bring that back?
I was terrified of that ride, and I want
I
to
loved
I know.
ride it
I
so
loved it as a
bad
kid,
again.
but heights as I get older scares the crap out of me the more older I get. So I think it would scare me. So it'd be nice. Bring it back.
And the swings too. Those are still gone.
Yeah,
huh?
they were putting it back up when I was
Oh,
there
really?
on Labor Day. Mm-hmm.
In
So I'm
time for
assuming that it
Frightmares.
might be running for Frightmares, but it seems weird that they would put them back up just to take them back down, right? So they were assembling the swings when I was there last. So fingers crossed when we go in a few weeks, guys.
I was gonna say, as much as we may talk smack on Lagoon from time to time, we still love it. We still patron it, and we will be going back. So expect
It's our
Primordial Part 3.
It's our favorite amusement park in Utah, and it's also our most hated amusement park in Utah.
It's a very love-hate
And
relationship.
some people just think it's okay.
That's right. Well said, Nate. Couldn't say it better myself.
It's number one and number two in our hearts.
With that, Matt, we'll have to have you back soon to give us a recap of our Frightmares trip, which is finally happening after 4 years of attempting. Maybe we'll all make it together.
Unless Nate backs out in the end.
That is
a possibility.
What's the weekend? Conference weekend?
Yeah, the 4th?
The 4th. It's my mom's birthday on the 5th, so I kind of prepare for that sometimes. Just kidding, I don't. But...
Well, Nate, if you don't come with us, Brandon and I will get Taco Bell like we always do. Go in the park and eat Taco Bell.
We're going to do it anyway. Even if Nate comes, we're still going to get Taco Bell.
They have this $7 deal right now that looks pretty good.
I love Taco Bell so much.
I love Taco Bell. It's good, and it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But remember you used to go to Taco Bell with $5 and you would want to puke because you had so much food, and now $5, you're still starving.
Now we can do that in the haunted houses.
Just saying.
The custom box is not even $7.
That's what I'm saying. They just had a commercial for it, that's $7 for a box or something, which looked like a pretty decent deal. I'm just saying, you could go seriously, we would go to. Why are we talking about Taco Bell all of a sudden? You go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
20 plus years ago.
It's well past Matt's bedtime. He ate dinner.
We wait till
10 hours
Sunday
ago.
at midnight, so we didn't break the Sabbath, and we would go to Taco Bell, and for $5, you would want to puke because you just had so much food. So that's my whole point. But now for $5, maybe you're satisfied after you eat there, but you're definitely not ready to puke.
I'm just excited for all of us to do it together again. And I don't know, maybe this Frightmares trip is going to replace because we don't have Halloween this year. We don't have any Halloween movies to watch.
Yeah, we do.
I thought we had one more.
Halloween 4.
We're going to just start over?
Why not?
Matt wants to keep the tradition going.
Why don't we do I know what you
Carnival of Souls.
No, I know what you did last summer
2
years ago.
We've already done that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to come over and watch Carnival of Souls, we can do a Carnival of Souls episode.
Okay,
Carnival
that's
of
on.
Souls?
That's on the AMC app all the time.
Is it really? Well,
Mhm.
I've got AMC until Friday, so hurry
Yeah.
over.
We
I've
have to
always
do our
got it.
yearly movie.
We have to find a yearly movie. I don't know if Carnival of Souls is the one.
What is Carnival of Souls?
It's
That-
filmed at Saltaire.
Saltaire.
Saltaire is filmed.
Is it zombies
Yeah,
that
it's like
are
zombies.
taking over?
It's really old. It's a really old movie.
Yeah,
Black
it's
and white.
black and white with red all over.
There's more
Hmm.
scary movies filmed here. Maybe we need to find another one.
Yeah. Anybody has any suggestions? Send them over.
I mean, it might be in October of all scary movies, if we're being real. Everybody, let us know about Primordial, what you think, and how soon we should do a Primordial Part 3. Thanks for
Thanks.
listening. This is a Place
Oh.
podcast.
So I was gonna say thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course.
Why are you
Matt.
trying to rush
Always.
me off?
Always, because you're just an appendage of this podcast.
And I just want
You've
to
got
give a
people writing in, fans
Yeah.
talking about you.
I want to give a shout out to my friend out in DC. I see your comments, so
Yeah,
thank
he
you. I appreciate
somehow
it.
still has access to our podcast page.
I was going to tell him,
Yeah.
though, that it doesn't really matter because Matt would have gone to bed at 5 o'clock anyways. He's so
No,
old.
nope. Because of the time difference, I was
It would
going
have
to
been
bed at
7
like
o'clock.
nope. I was out
That's-
late every night.
How was your trip? Good?
It was good. Thank you. Thanks for
It was
asking.
awesome. It
You
was
both
awesome.
went on trips. I didn't
We
go
both went on
anywhere.
trips. Why didn't you go on a trip, Nate?
And the funny thing is, I should be the one going like every weekend because I fly for free, but I don't.
Matt had a good time. Yeah. What was
I
your
had a great
favorite part
time.
of DC?
Probably the Lincoln Monument, but I did go up inside of Washington Monument, and that was really cool. Just riding my bike around that area, riding a bike. I would just rent a bike for $1,
That's cool.
ride it to all the monuments, and I went to a spy museum, which now I don't trust anyone even more. And for all your smart listeners, I got a book about Pegasus, and if you don't know what that is, don't look it up.
It was like a CD store. Pegasus.
All right, boys, I got to go heat up my milk. Get ready for bed.
Give some foot rubs. Thanks for coming on, Matt.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast
And this was a ride we just talked about
for the second time.
for the second time.
Good night now.
Bye-bye. Why good night? How do you know to listen to us at night?
I'm going to bed. Bye now.